this thing a little closer. I think it's to the end of this week. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. How are you, sir?
I am doing fine, Mr. Gallo. How are you, sir?
Doing fine. Good. Talking to all these VIPs this morning. And the final push for the census. Tell me what the timeline is on this.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Let me start with a little analogy. When I was growing up back in the 50s, there was a friend of mine, actually in the early 60s when I first started driving, had a 1951 Studebaker, and he'd cut that thing off, and it would cough and spit and turn around for it seemed like an eternity trying to shut down. And in all honesty, I'm not real sure when the census is going to be over with. Let me give you the latest, the latest information. It was originally set up to end on July the 31st. I think everyone was aware of that. And then coronavirus hit. And in the wisdom that could not be questioned, it was extended until September the 31st, or 30th, I guess it would be. Only 30 days in September, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
it was then later extended to October the 31st. And it was subsequently brought back to the September date. And then last week, a federal judge in California extended it back to October the 31st. And yesterday afternoon, Secretary of Commerce Wilbur Ross said it's going to end on Monday, next Monday, a week from yesterday, October the 5th. That is probably going to be challenged judicially. I hate that it has become politicized because all of the arguments kind of point toward politics. But the government's argument on ending it on October the 5th is there's a lot of data that has to be crunched and numbers and put together to have it ready to be released by the statutory requirement of December the 31st, and that ending it on October the 31st simply does not give enough time. It's not for me to make that decision. We're going to continue to push it just exactly as we're doing here on your show this morning. But the truth of the matter is it does have to end sometime. And
here's a question I have, and I don't think you can answer this, but why would the Commerce Secretary try to overrule a court if there's litigation out there, sending it back to October the 5th?
Well, the U.S. Census Bureau is an arm of the Department of Commerce, and the Commerce Department is an arm of the administration. And the president has been very clear. He thinks it should end he thought it should end on September the 30th. This is five additional days beyond that. But again, it kind of gets back to the thing that I was saying is being politicized.
Back to your analogy, it looks like it's got a longer life than the Studebaker.
I can't disagree with you on that, but we're going to ride the bucking horse until it goes back in the stable, and we're going to continue to promote it. It's too important for the state of Mississippi not to do anything.
We have any numbers on that right now? As to I do.
Is it? Well, as of Sunday, we had a 94.9% total response rate as compared to 97.9% nationwide. Our self-response, this is people just taking their civic responsibility seriously and either going online or calling in or responding to the questionnaire and mailing it back, which probably is too late to do that now because I would think most people probably would have a difficult time finding that questionnaire. But we're at 59.9% in the state of Mississippi compared to 66.4% nationwide.
Wow.
But I want to give a shout out and a pat on the back to Madison. They're at 83.2%. Brandon is at 75.7%. DeSoto County, when you start looking at it from a county standpoint, DeSoto is at 72.2 and Madison is at 71.8. But we've got some, for instance, the Montrose is at 25.5% response as of Sunday.
Help me out here. And again, we're talking with Giles Ward, Chairman, Mississippi Complete Count Committee. Is that 59.9 the total number of people that are that we have logged on the population? Is it county by county? How is it?
The 59.9. the 59.9% counts households in the state of Mississippi. That's where the confusion comes in. I've been asked, well, if you know how many households in, why do you have to take a census? Well, we need to know how many people are in the household. And so this is 59.9% of the households within the state of Mississippi have responded in one fashion or another.
Help me mitigate this a little bit to make us feel a little bit better. If you have less households that are counted in Issaquah County, it is not as damaging as having less households counted in Madison or DeSoto County.
I can't argue with that, but the citizens of Issaquah County, to use your example, should be aware that the percentage of responses, the census that is taken for Issaquah County, is going to directly affect their county.
Oh, I understand. I'm not saying
for
that.
the next 10 years. Yeah.
I understand that. So again, we are on go until October the 4th, as far as you know.
October the 5th.
5th. That's it.
October the 5th is the latest, but this is getting fairly contentious at the judicial level. It would not surprise me if a federal judge overrules the Secretary of Commerce's decision yesterday. I'm just speaking personally, and I think we're going to count people and receive questionnaires and responses through whenever they finally decide it is over. As they say, it ain't over till it's over. And we just can't say that on your program this morning exactly when it is, but based upon the best data that we have, it's Sunday, October the 5th.
But you're pretty sure that our chance to do this by mail now, Monday, that you're... Go ahead.
The delay is catching me. Go ahead.
You're pretty sure that we're not going to be able to do this by mail, though. If we're going to do it, anybody who still has the opportunity is going to be on the web, on the internet.
Well, you certainly can still respond if you have your questionnaire, but they were mailed out in January. I keep a lot of junk laying around on my desk, but I don't think I can find anything that I received back in January. That's the premise of my saying that it's difficult to expect mail.
I do appreciate the update, sir. And one final question here. If you had to go out and you had to buy a new Studebaker today, what would it be?
Do they still make Studebakers?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
No, they don't. But if you went to get one of the classics, would it be the Hawk? The Studebaker
Hawk? Is that the one with the suicide doors on the 4-door?
No, was Alvanti a Studebaker? The Italian-made car, the Alvanti?
Let me ask you something. Did I come on your show to be an expert on Italian cars?
Well, every once in a while, one might show up at the Neshoba County Fair. You'll need to know what it is. So,
Paul, it's always great to be with you.
Good to talk to you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir.
You got it.
Take care.